Rust, a low-level programming language. There are a ton of low-level programming language out there, but why Rust? Rust offers a high-level simplicity with low-level performance. Rust is also a most loved language by developers since 2016. You might want to switch to Rust now, but Rust is top language. In this video, we will teach you from the beginning until you can build a greatest common divisor calculator project, so no need to be worried. First, let's install Rust by visiting rustlang.org/2/install and click download. After that, click the Rust init file and proceed the installation process until it's done. Cargo, a Rust package manager. Let's create a new Rust project by typing cargo new and typing your project name. After that, you can see the new files and folder created, which cargo.toml is for managing dependencies and main.rs is for writing Rust code. And you can change the directory by typing cd and your project name and cargo run to run the project. Let's dive into Rust memory safety. Unlike Python, Rust doesn't have a garbage collector, but it relies on ownership and borrowing, which in this case my cat is an owner, which have a new kitten as a value that can be used by other function by typing and sign in front of the variable name. This as other function refer to the value. To create a new variable in Rust, you use let followed by a variable name and its type and assigning its value. By default, Rust treats variable as immutable. If you need to make it mutable, just add mut after let. Rust IO operations are used to obtain user input or print text as output. To get user input, first we need to create a new variable to hold the input string and use stdin.readLine and the variable to read the input and store in that variable. Printing output is just easy as println. Rust condition and if else statement are used to execute code based on the condition. If the condition is true, the box will be executed. If the condition is false, this box will be executed instead. Rust supports several comparison operators for conditions such as equal, not equal, greater than, less than, greater than or equal, less than or equal. Loop allow you to repeat a block of code for multiple times. The for loop iterates over a sequence like a vector and executing a block of code for each item in that sequence. The while loop, on the other hand, continue executing the code inside the blocks as long as the condition remains true. Rust function is defined using the fn keyword followed by the function name. Inside the parenthesis, you can specify the parameter along with their type. After parameter, use the arrow followed by the type of the function output. When you call the function, the code inside the function block will execute it. The return keyword is used to return the value from the function. Let's begin the greatest common divisor calculator project. First, let's understand how to calculate a GCD. For example, we want to calculate GCD of 140 and 48. Use the traditional method can be difficult for a computer, as it would need to guess the number that divides both numbers without a reminder. Computers aren't good at guessing, so instead we will use the Euclidean algorithm to find out GCD. Let's simplify it. First, start with two numbers A and B. Next, calculate the remainder C equal A mod B. Assign the value B back to A and C back to B. Repeat the process until remainder or C becomes 0, and when C is 0, B is the answer. Let's make the procedure code. While C is not 0, find the remainder C equal to A mod B and assign B back to A and C back to B. Let's implement the GCD calculator in Rust from what we have learned. First, we'll create a GCD function with A and B as a parameter, and the output is i64 or integer 64 bits. Inside the function, we'll create a multiple variable for A and B and use the while loop to implement the Euclidean algorithm as shown in the procedure code earlier. At the end of the function, we'll return the result. Next, we'll obtain the input from user using Rust IO system. We will create two mutable variables to store the input for A and B. Then, we'll read the first input into A and the second input into B. After that, convert them from string to i64 and call the GCD function with A and B as a parameter. Finally, using the return value from the function, we will print the output to the user using println. Here's all the code for the GCD project. You can pause and looking into it. Thank you for watching.